Hi, my name is Reza. I am a CEO and co-founder of Ferveret. Ferveret develops liquid cooling technology inspired by nuclear power plant cooling. The company is founded by myself and my co-founder, Matteo. We were lab mates at MIT, and that's how we met. Matteo kind of stayed at MIT and he became a faculty there. I, on the other hand, moved to industry and work as a thermal engineer at Microsoft, NVIDIA, and Cruise. And since I was working at NVIDIA, obviously the idea of data center efficiency and cooling came to mind, and that's how we started our company. So before I tell you guys what we do, let's talk about the problem. The problem that we are facing is huge, right? If nothing changes by the year 2040, roughly about 13% of total worldwide carbon emissions going to come from data centers. And that's a huge problem. So the way that I look at it, if you look back in the history when the Industrial Revolution happened, if you look at the chart, you can see a clear spike in the amount of CO2 generation. And that was like Industrial Revolution. But now we're at the age of digital revolution. So if we don't think about sustainability, the same thing gonna happen, and we're gonna see similar spike in the CO2 generation from our digital activities. But the interesting portion of that is that from these 13%, roughly about 40% of that comes from inefficient cooling that can be easily solved, right? And the interesting part to me is there's so much advancement on the electronic side. Like now, if you look at the chip, the size of the transistors is around 3 nanometer. But then when you look at the infrastructure and cooling of the data, the cooling technology is from 50 years ago and nothing changes on that front. So there's a lot of improvement need to be done there. And that's where we come in. We have a lot of experience in a nuclear industry. And if you look at the nuclear reactor, the only way that you can really extract the energy efficiently from the nuclear core is the heat transfer. And that's where basically the nuclear industry try to perfect the heat transfer process. And that's what we have been working on at MIT, me and my co-founder. And then obviously, when I moved to electronic cooling industry, the idea is that why don't we apply same thing to the electronic cooling, right? To make things a lot more efficient and sustainable. So if you look at here on this video on the right, you can see a computer board that the chips are getting cooled by two-phase heat transfer. That's like a lot more efficient than what we have currently and a lot more sustainable. So if you do that, there's like so many advantages that you get with our technology. One of them is that you basically have 96% less energy base because of the efficient cooling that we have. You're going to have 40% smaller actual footprint of your data center because you would be able to compact a lot more IT in a smaller area. And not only that, you would be able to get 2x more performance from your chip. So you can imagine, like now that we are in the age of AI and all this computational power, getting 2x more performance and overclocking is such a huge benefit. And not only that, the solution is sustainable. And then, so we started with the data center. So soon we realized that not only data center, but whatever market that you have, like a computational heavy application, our solution can be helpful there. And that's how we basically identify 3 different pillars as of now that we can attack and solve the problem. One of them is basically decentralization. So cryptocurrency mining and Web3 is one of them. So clearly there is a lot of computation going on there. You need efficient cooling and also a sustainable solution, right, for decentralization. The other market is obviously data centers, high performance compute and edge computing. And the other one, the third one is basically autonomous vehicle, right? Because in autonomous vehicle also, there's a huge computation happen in the car. There's a massive computational unit normally on the trunk of the car that need to process the data from all the cameras and sensor in real time. So there's a huge computation going on. And the cooling is obviously a huge problem there that we can come in and solve the problem. So the activities that we do at Ferveret can be divided into 3 main sections. So we do a lot of R&D. We have like a most advanced research loop for the experiment in our lab. And we do a bunch of experiment on that loop, collect data and kind of feed that data into different simulation softwares that we have. And we use those software to do optimization and do a bunch of product development, right? Which I will talk about them more in the next slides. Then we also do fluid development. We clearly see the need to have an efficient fluid for heat transfer in this application. Obviously, I mean, we cannot use water because water is conductive, so we need these special fluids called dielectric fluid. But the ones that are currently available in the market, their properties are not necessarily the best for two-phase heat transfer application. And that's where we come in, and we are trying to come up with our own fluid. And that's where we do collaboration with the companies like Motul to come up with the new fluid with better thermophysical properties that can help us to perfect the process. So in the case of cryptocurrency and Web3, we have these small modular solution that each unit can goes into these small containers. And the reason that we came up with this small modular solution is that because we were talking to different customers, the main problem that currently they have with various liquid cooling is that most of them are like big containers, and the only way that they can populate their farm or servers is in the X and Y direction. So the reason for having these small modular containers is that because they can stack them up also in the Z direction. So you would be able to get a lot more computational power density from each square feet of your farm or data center. And this plot here, it shows the performance of our technology versus what's currently available in the market. So you can see that the y-axis is the hottest chip temperature and x-axis is frequency. So obviously having higher frequency means more performance, and then lower chip temperature is what you are looking for, because normally if you hit 90 degrees C, the whole system shut down. So you can see that with our system, you would be able to get the overclocking all the way, and temperature of the chip never went above 70 degrees C. And that's basically helped us to sign various contracts with different customers. Like one of the most famous customers are Aradyne, which are like a later stage series A startup that they are developing infrastructure for Web3, and that's where we are working with. And also there's S+E consulting company that they also do mining farm, and we are also working with them to implement our technology in the larger scale. Also in the data center side, we have been developing these products for the data centers, which can include various servers, switches, routers, and we are working with NL. We already developed a paid pilot sample to them, and they are signing a bigger contract with us for more of these samples. So this is basically a very high-level overview of our company and our activities. We have been back with some of the well-known investors such as Y Combinator, Valkyrie, and also E14 from MIT Media Lab. That's about Ferveret. Thank you.